All right, we are live. So this is Percy, and Percy is a Havanese, and they like to keep his coat nice and long and full. But I went through and with a slicker brush and got this much out so far. See all this like dead hair, right? And this is what's tangling up and causing the matting. So you'll see this a lot in the longer coats, especially around this time of year, because the sunlight is starting to change. It's starting to get darker, faster. So whenever there's a change in the photo periods, meaning the intensity and duration of the sunlight, then you're gonna see some changes in their coat. Their undercoat is gonna start to what they call blow out, detach from the roots and kind of get fuzzy. And let me see if I can zoom in here. Okay. Oh. All right. So I'm not sure you can see. Oh, let me raise that up a little bit. So see those mats right here, the hair that's all tangled up really good, right? All of these knots. Hey, what's up, nature? I'm doing good. So I'm about to demat this matted up Havanese. Sorry, let me try to get my life together here, get my life straight. Anyways, so I went through with the slicker brush to kind of break up these mats a little bit, but I was thinking this might be a really good, and right now I'm going to be using this daily spritz of conditioner and moisturizer, so it helps kind of detangle. So spray that on there so the tangled hair and mats kind of slip out easier. And then, oh, is there a comment? What's up, Morgan? Morgan Nelson. So let me see if this is zoomed out all the way. There we go. Oh, shoot. There we go. So what I'm going to do is try to get under the top coat, down to the skin where the undercoat is all matted up, tangled up into these thick balls, and just break that up. There you go. And just kind of break it up, and then I'm going to go through with the dematting knife, like a mat splitter, which is, it looks like this. But if you don't have a mat splitter, you can even use your scissors, right? You can use the cutting side of your scissors and go through and split the mats like that as well, in the direction that you want the hair to lay. You want to go with the grain. That way it doesn't leave any horizontal cut lines. But because I have the mat splitter, I can just go down with the mat splitter and just split these mats up. Right? And that way we can keep them nice and long. And it's, I know people might say like, oh, but if you keep him long, he's just going to get matted up again. Not necessarily, because again, a lot of this is caused due to the time of year it is right now here in Georgia. It's getting darker much faster. We're getting less sunlight. Even though it might not feel like it during the day, because it's still like 90 degrees out during the day right now. But it is October, and we're coming into the fall. So the coat is starting to change, and it's getting rid of the undercoat. That way, the old undercoat, so the old underwear from last season, once we get rid of it, then the skin, the pores are clear, and it has room to grow in the new fresh underwear for the new season. And that's how they're going to stay fresh and clean. And he's not really going to be this matted until probably like late December, because they say, again, it's because the sunlight. So December 21st is the winter solstice, right? And then June 21st is the summer solstice, like the longest and shortest days of the year. So that's why December 21st, or around then, is going to be when he's going to blow his coat again, blow out his undercoat. And so we're probably going to see some matting and tangling up around late December, springtime, and into January. Then, in the spring, and then in the heart of summer, so June 21st, around then, and then again, as we come into the fall, the change in sunlight, we'll see another matting of the coat. But it's not because the hair is long, because even though the hair is long, as long as all the hairs are live and they're not dead and fuzzy, it's like Velcro. It's, they just kind of attach to each other and tangle up. See any questions here? Does that spray work like a leave-in conditioner? Yes, it actually is a leave-in conditioner. conditions and moisturizes. It's a leave-in conditioner. So you can spray it, use it as a leave-in conditioner. I'm gonna brush this other side as well, and then we're gonna go through with the dematting tools and kind of split up those mats, and then we're gonna comb it all out. And then once he's all combed out and all the dead hair is combed out, then we can wash him, and he's not gonna be matted up after the bath, and then I can give him a long haircut. So, right, buddy? All right. Oh, so back here, and there's a pretty good mat. Let's see. Sorry. Let me try to see if I can show you this here. Percy, wait, let me see. So, and especially because this is probably where his collar goes. See that? These tight bundles. It feels thick and hard. But anyways, see that? It's all bundled up like Velcro, literally. It's all tangled up together in like a big cluster, a big bundle of just tangled up hair, and that's what we call mats, right? And so we're gonna get all of that out. Alrighty. And this is more practical for homeowners, pet owners at home. In a salon environment, this may not be very practical because it does take extra time. And in a salon environment, a lot of times groomers don't really have the time necessary to, that extra time to comb out and work out all these mats. If they do, they're going to have to charge extra, and not a lot of pet owners, are able to. It's usually not in their budget, and I don't want to say what someone can and can't afford, but just in my experience, when I'm in a salon and I have to charge them, whatever extra charge it is for the dematting fee, and sometimes groomers will charge per every 30 minutes, so they'll charge like $20 for every 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes an extra hour or two, so you're going to be paying like, anywhere from like an extra $40 to $60 on top of your groom. So in it, they're like, just shave them, But this is more just for the people who are asking, how do I save my dog's hair and I want to keep them long, but they're matted and tangled up? This is what you're going to want to do. You're going to follow this process. Spray the coat down with some conditioner, right? And then, Claudia, awesome. I'm glad you made it too. And so then you want to break up these mats with the slicker brush, right? And it's going to break it up for you a little bit. And then we're going to go through and split them. After we've broken them up, then we're going to split them with the mat splitters. Our favorite group. Hey, what's up, Patty? How are you? Yeah, tell me what I need, and I'm taking notes. Awesome. Oh, someone said hi. Oh, Pat, that was Patty. Okay, perfect. You see that? And it's not much, but it is enough to help, break up the mats a little bit so we can work the mat splitter. The mat splitter is this tool here, but if you don't have a mat splitter, you can use scissors and just go through with the scissors with the grain to split up those mats. And then after that, I'm going to go through with this dematting rake. See that it has like serrated edges there? So that it's going to cut through all of that. And make sure all the tools are clean. I cleaned all my tools before I started with Meyer's cleaner. I like the lavender scent. So anyways, so now let's break these mats up. So, and also, even if you're not a professional groomer and you don't know how to do your haircut on the dog, so you're going to take your dog into the groomers and to get them, to have them do a haircut. If you don't want your groomer to shave your dog, then this is something you can do before you take your dog into the groomer. And that way, the groomer can actually give you the nice long haircut that you want. A nice teddy bear cut, leave some length. They can do that for you without having to shave the dog down to the skin, without having to shave everything off. If you do this before you take them to the groomers. So even though you're not able to do the haircut yourself, and you're going to take your dog into somewhere to get a haircut, if you do this before you bring your dog in, you take your dog in, then you can request, a longer haircut, And the groomer will usually be able to do that for you as long as you worked out all the dead hair in the mats. Or sometimes, you know, their schedule will allow and they will be able to take a little extra time and brush it out for you. But just be prepared. They're going to usually charge you extra for that extra time. And which, you know, they should. But, you know, sometimes it's hard for pet owners to see the value in it, like I said. Or sometimes it's just difficult for them to, you know, justify spending that much more. You know, it kind of puts them out of their budget. Which I understand completely. I'm not trying to judge or anything like that. So I'm just trying to provide a solution, you know, help pet owners understand what they can do if they want to save their dog's matted coat. So we're going through and just breaking everything up. And you don't want to pull really hard or yank. You just want to go in and out because he's already kind of uncomfortable with it. So if you think about it, the matted hair is already kind of pulling at his skin, making his skin feel uncomfortable. So, you know, when we go in and start pulling and tugging at it, we want to be as gentle as possible. Patty, I noticed on your older account, LOL, I was going to say you made it over 1,000 subscribers. Oh, yeah, no. And so I decided I'm just going to go ahead and stream on this channel because I can't stream from my phone on the other channel because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. But also on that other channel, I don't have any like this DIY, you know, do-it-yourself grooming videos or tutorials. They're all on this channel. So I figured I'll just stick with that on this channel, and that other channel, I might rename it like June the Groomer Talks, or Talk with June the Groomer, or The Mind of June the Groomer, or something like that, you know, because it's mostly just kind of my thoughts and ideas that I'm sharing on that other channel. But yeah, I didn't want to, I was hesitant to stream on this channel because I said I wouldn't. But it was kind of, you know, I feel like it does bring me joy. It does make me happy to be able to share information like this and show people, you know, to try to be helpful. It just, for me, it just makes me feel like life is worth living when I feel like I'm being helpful, you know? It makes me happy. So, you know, I feel like we're allowed to change our minds, right? I changed my mind. Hi, Gina. Natalie, I worked as assistant groomer before. I'm still learning lots from your question. Do you get rid of the big mats behind the ears with the dematting tool you used on him so far? Yeah, just break it up. I'm not actually getting rid of the mats yet. The mats are still there. I'm just kind of breaking it up a little bit, creating some space between the mat and the skin. That way we're going to go through with the mat splitters, and that's when we're going to actually break up, like really split up those mats and get it out. See, Pearl's journey. I can't stand to see a matted dog. It hurts my heart. I know it's painful. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, around this time of year, though, it's kind of hard to avoid because the change in the sunlight causes their skin gets the cue from the change in the sunlight, and then the undercoat starts to rotate so that it makes room for the fresh new undercoat to come in. It's like the dog's underwear, the secondary hairs, but they don't shed. So we have to kind of help them out by pulling it out for them because they don't shed like a double coated or, you know, like a lab would. Awesome, it's a great idea though. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Patty. Thank you for understanding. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I was like thinking, but I really like doing this, you know, and I really miss streaming live and showing people the grooming process and, you know, giving ideas and tips for pet owners that'll help, you know, especially with matted dogs around this time of year. It's a really big issue. A lot of pet owners are just struggling, dealing with a lot of mats, especially here. Like I feel one right here, behind the ear, right here, and around the shoulders. Because this is a high friction area. You know, the collar goes around here. You know, they rub on things. They're moving around. So under their arms, you know, their legs, their armpit, you're gonna find some more mats there too, because they're moving around. I didn't know that. Thank you for the information. Oh, you're welcome. Lee, that's still fascinating that shedding is controlled by the season. Yeah, exactly, right? And just like everything, all the plants, the trees, they all get their cue from the sunlight. And so that's why around this time of year, it seems like you wake up one day and your dog's completely matted. It really kind of feels like it happens that quick. I used to not believe people, like pet owners, when they came in to my shop, they're like, I don't know what happened. Just last week they were fine, and it's like we went away for a week and we came back and they're all tangled up and matted. I used to think to myself like, yeah, you're a liar. I wouldn't say that, but I would think it. But now that I have my own long-haired dog, Weemy, he's a Shih Tzu Maltese mix, it really does feel like you wake up one morning and they're completely matted. It's like, what in the world just happened? So I feel your pain. So we're just breaking everything up. There we go. And as long as you kind of go in and out, you're not really tugging or pulling too much, it still bothers them. He doesn't really love it, but they will tolerate it as long as it's not too painful for them. You don't want to yank too much. There we go. So I'm always holding the skin tight, right? So the skin is tight. It doesn't pull too much on the skin. There we go. That's why my other hand is always working, like is always in the area that I'm brushing, because I'm holding the skin tight. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we got them brushed out. So the top coat is broken up and separated, but that doesn't mean that we're out of the forest yet, we're out of the woods yet. Because if I went through with the comb, it's not gonna comb through, it's gonna catch. For example, here's a greyhound comb, there's the fine side, there's the coarse side, and I like to flip it like that, you know what I'm saying? Because, anyways, obviously I haven't matured much in the time that went by. But anyways, see, oh wow, actually does go through pretty well. Okay, and that's what the mat looks like. See that? Really tight bundle of dead hair. Alrighty. Say, man, I thought this dude would have matured a little bit in the time off, some time for self-reflection, maybe lose the corny jokes, but no, in fact, I think I've gotten cornier. But look, see? But it does catch right here, where it was really kind of thick and hard. And so, thick and hard. So, that's still fascinating. Okay, yeah. I'm glad you reconsidered. Oh, thank you, Morgan. It seems like the longer you leave in the spray, the better it loosens tangles. Yeah, that's true. Because it has the hair has more time to soak it in, right? There we go. Blast that a little bit. So, because the comb's catching right there, I don't want to pull and tug too much and make them uncomfortable. We're going to use the mat splitter. And you hold the matted hair at the base so it doesn't pull too much. There we go. Good boy. Good boy, Percy. I'm so proud of you, buddy. Oh, see, so even though it has this pointed edge, sometimes those mats are so thick and so close to the skin. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit right here. Oh shoot. I can't control the zoom for some reason. Okay, well that's good. Alright. So, see that? There we go. Let's see. I have a Beagle Spaniel mix. Oh, her fur is short to medium, but boy does she really shed year round. Yeah, it seems cute. I've never owned long fur dogs. Yeah, it seems like it's like all year long they're shedding, because in the spring a lot of the hair that was blown out in the heart of winter, you're brushing that out so that they'll have a new fresh coat for the summer. And then during the heart of summer, the longest time of the year, then it blows out again, getting ready for the colder weather. So then during the fall, it seems like you're dealing with all that, the hair that was shed in late summer, and then in the fall, you're getting ready for the winter coat, So it does seem like all year long, you're kind of dealing with it. So like that. But let's just say you don't have a mat splitter, right? Then what you can do is, you know what? I'm not going to use my curve shears. I'm going to use my straights. So then you can get a pair of scissors, right? And these are guide shears, guide straight shears. So then you can get a pair of scissors and just go through like that with the grain. You want to go the direction that the hair grows. See that? There we go. So if you don't have a mat splitter, you can always use scissors and split up the mats that way. And you want to go in the direction that you want the hair to lay. And you go the direction that the hair grows. Because if I just kind of did it this way or this way, any kind of way, then it's going to leave those cut lines in your coat. But this way, by going with the grain, going the direction that the hair lays, then even though you're cutting out hair, you're not going to see cut lines. Just you want to be careful though, because it is sharp scissors. So there we go. Now that the mats are split up, we're going to go back through with the comb and comb out those balls, those pin mats, There you go, buddy. No. So right there, there's a really thick mat. So I'm going to go through with my scissors. There we go. See that? I just cut that piece out with my scissors. See how thick that mat is? So go through and just cut it out. And that way it doesn't really tug and pull and, make him feel uncomfortable. Also, by tugging and pulling too much, you can cause the skin to turn red. They call it hematoma, where the skin kind of looks bloodshot a little bit, Looks red and raw. But to avoid all that, good shake, buddy. Oh man, his right here it already feels much smoother. Smooth and silky right now. Nice. There we go. Awesome. See, look at that. And so this is what we're pulling out. See how it looks? It's like pin mats. So that's what we're pulling out. And now, look at all see how it has like these bundles where it really bundles up together? But now, this area where I combed out, it can even use the fine tooth side and it just combs through. That means that I can wash him and he's not going to get tangled up and matted after the bath, and he's going to dry nice because the hair feels nice and silky and those are live hairs, so they'll dry nice and fast. And there we go. Nice. And he does this with his legs and feet whether he's matted or not, so don't let that fool you. Like, oh, he's uncomfortable. No, he's like that normally. Okay. All right. So we got the front side all worked out. Well, that quarter. Now we got to work on the back side here. Alrighty. See, back there is tangled up pretty good. So again, I'm going to go through with the scissors and split up those mats. Once it's split up, then it combs out much easier. Right there. But again, you want to break it up first with the slicker brush to get the top coat all broken up and separated. Then you can go through and split up these mats with either a pair of scissors, just running it through the coat, or the mat splitter. And then you go through with the metal comb. See that? Boom. Like butter. That's what was causing all of that. See? That bundle, it's like really tight. That's what we call matted hair. There we go. Now that that's worked out, look at that. There's some more right there. Okay, so then I'll go through with this mat splitter. So see, just as an example, like you can use anything. Some people have even told me that they use the seam splitter, like the alterationist, like how seamstress use those seam splitters. But I mean, I guess you can, but just be very careful because seam splitters have that really sharp pointed edge and you can poke their skin. So that's why I like this because, it's not that sharp, and the cutting blade is right there. But yeah, the idea is to get in between those mats and split it, cut it up. Cut through it. That way, once you cut through it and break it up, then you can go through with the comb and comb those out. All right, buddy? There we go. Nice. And I've already brushed through the tail, and the tail doesn't really have too much mats on it. There we go. So now he's all combed out. Half of him is combed out. Let's see. Brenda LaCroix, this little guy has a lot of patience. Whoa, I've never been called a little guy before. I'm kidding. I know what you meant. This is why I comb my dog every day. Yes, you taught me that, Gene. Oh, thank you. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome, Brenda. Daily brushing and combing is recommended, but life gets in the way. I know everyone's busy. How do you feel about deshedding? Would it work for a dog or affect its coat? No, it's deshedding basically is what I'm doing now for him. Helping him get this hair that is old and dead, but it doesn't shed out because he's a long-coated breed. But like for example, my dog Dexter, he's a pit bull mix, and my dog Angel, she's like a Jindo retriever mix. Look at that. So for those, my other two, they shed. My two bigger dogs, they shed a lot especially around this time of year. And I go through and I brush and card them, use deshedding tools to get all of that out, to help clear their skin, kind of remove those dead follicles and get all that stuff out of their pores and make room for the new hair to grow in for the new season. And then they don't itch as much, they're more comfortable. So I love the idea of deshedding, and I think it should just be a normal part of the grooming routine, in my opinion. There we go. So that's why when I see like salons that offer deshedding services as an add-on, I would recommend a lot of pet owners, especially around this time of year, who have dogs that shed, to go ahead and purchase that extra package, the deshedding package. Okay, didn't think about that. If you do take your dog in to get groomed and they have a deshedding package and your dog is shedding, it would be a really good idea to just go ahead and buy that upgrade, buy that extra deshedding package. Yeah, so there we go. Nice. Good boy, Percy. There we go. And wow, you think about how much more comfortable he must feel, right? Look at that. And it feels so nice and smooth and silky now. Oh, there you go. I'll scratch it for you, buddy. So now he's going to feel less itchy. He's going to feel more comfortable because all this extra hair is now being combed out of his skin, because he can't shed it out himself because he's not a shedding breed. So by helping him, by removing it for him, now he's going to feel much more comfortable. He's not going to feel itchy or, irritated, I guess. His skin will feel tight and sometimes painful because it's so packed full during this time of year. So we're just helping him to feel some relief. There we go, buddy. There we go. Good boy. Yeah, so it's kind of tight around there, so I'm gonna go ahead and split up the mats. Look at that, see? But once we get this done, washing is gonna be easy. Drying, it's gonna take maybe 15 minutes. And then the haircut, maybe 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. So everything from after this is gonna be easy, you know? Nikki, so how often do you brush or de-shed your own dogs? Whenever I get a chance, I guess. Whenever I take my dog, because I take my dogs to the dog park every day now. I used to not, because they used to not act right around other dogs. You know, my dog Dexter would get like insecure, but try to hide it by acting tough. And so he would start fights. My older dog Angel, she's 14. So sometimes her patience isn't all there. And so she'll get impatient with other dogs and snap at them, which sometimes causes fights. And my dog Weemy, he thinks he's so tough and cool around my other two bigger dogs. So I just kind of avoided the dog parks, but I realized by avoiding it, I'm not really helping them grow. And I'm not helping the situation get better. So I started taking them every day. And now they're regulars. And they have their friends there now. And it's awesome. I was just there this morning. They played with the dog this morning. But whenever somebody asks me what I do, I feel embarrassed. I tell people, I'm a dog groomer. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, I groom everyone else's dogs but mine. So it's kind of embarrassing. I try to brush my dogs as often as I can, but sometimes I'll go maybe 2-3 weeks and not brushing my dogs. But when I do brush my dogs, I do a really thorough job, you know, which is why I'm able to get away with it. See, I think I will hair everywhere right about now. I touch my dogs and hair's just, yeah. And you know what? What you can do is wet your hands. Get your hands wet and rub your wet hands all over them. That really helps grip the dead hairs and everything. And when you wet your hands and run it through your dog like that, you're gonna have like, it'll look like you have a glove on. But yeah, wet hands will help a lot. Just wet your hands, get them really damp and wet, and then run those wet hands all over your dog. And that'll help, you know, release a lot of that dead hair, clear those follicles. My dog hates being brushed. But like I said, by avoiding situations that they don't like, we're not helping them grow or get any better. Just like the dog park situation with my dogs. I realized I wasn't helping them grow or get any better by avoiding the dog parks because they would get in fights. And, you know, by going there every day and making it a routine, so now it's more familiar to them, right? And it's just a part of their day now. They go in the morning and they go at night after I walk. So I walk them first, you know, I walk the trails, get them to pee and poo, and also release some of that energy so they're a little, you know, so they're not all hyped up, you know. And then we go into the dog park. And at first it was rough. And I had them on a leash, you know, to help kind of control and correct them. But then someone was telling me by having them on a leash, it was actually making the situation worse because they feel like they can't really defend themselves or whatever if they need to. And it makes them a little bit more aggressive. So I started taking them off the leash and just keeping a really close eye on them. And one time Weemy got bit, it was bad. But, you know, and when Weemy got bit, I was telling myself, I knew this was a bad idea. I'm never coming back. But then I told myself, no, we're coming back. I'm not gonna let him live the rest of his life with that as his last experience, you know? So we kept going back, and now my 3 dogs are regulars there. Seriously, they have their own friends that they, you know, look forward to meeting every night. All right. But yeah, if your dog hates being brushed, I would do it regularly because then it becomes more familiar, it just becomes routine, and you're helping your dog grow and not stay scared of something. You know, we gotta confront our fears, right? Taylor Clark, the author of Nerve, he says, if you want to sentence yourself to a life of fear, never do anything that scares you. Never confront any of your fears or the things that scare you or the things that make you uncomfortable. Don't ever do any of those things if you want to sentence yourself to a life of fear. Just think about that. That's pretty profound, right? Okay. Let me see, there's a comment that came. Gene, where do you purchase that mat splitter tool? Do you have a favorite brand? Just look up mat splitter on Amazon and you'll see this come up. And I think on Amazon it's like maybe $9, probably cheaper. I'm going to start brushing him every day, even if he hates the brush. Exactly, and you know, that way he learns to like the brush, or at least tolerate the brush, because they need to be brushed every day. By brushing our dogs, we're stimulating their skin, right, which helps blood flow. We're also distributing the oils evenly throughout the coat. The oil helps protect their skin and coat. It keeps it, you know, shiny and bright, and helps repel off bacteria and dust and all that stuff. So brushing our dogs is so healthy for them. It's about health, and health is beauty. So when we have a nicely brushed out dog, they not only look good and smell better, but they feel much better as well. So that's why I say brush more, bathe less. Brushing is so much more important than bathing. And actually all the results that you're looking for, it comes from the brushing. You know, the bath, if I were to just wash Percy here as is, it would actually do more harm than good. It would actually ruin his coat and cause it to be much more matted after the bath. And his coat will still feel brittle and rough, not silky smooth, because all of this dead hair is what causes it to have that rough texture to it. So by brushing all of this out, now, like on this side, we get this beautiful coat that's already looking clean, that smells nice, because all this dead hair is what's holding on to the smell. What conditioner you use? Right now I'm using this, what is it, by Nudie. It conditions and moisturizes Daily Spritz Soft Lily Passion. That's what I'm using right now. But I'm not brand loyal at all. I flip around and use all kinds of stuff. I'm the type of person that don't want my dog to be angry or anything. So if he didn't want to be brushed, it was okay. I was okay with it, because I'm an enabler and no, you're not. It's because you care and you have a really big heart. That's why. I understand. You're not a bad mom. That's funny though. It's like, you know, because I'm an enabler. No, it's because you love and care about your dog and you have such a big heart. You know, you don't want to see your dog, you know, whimper or, you know, be in pain or uncomfortable. That's really sweet of you, actually. Alright. See, I just put them through it anyways because I'm heartless and I don't care. I'm kidding. Alright, it's because I know how important it is and I know how much it's going to help them. And that's why I'm willing to go through with it and just kind of guide them through it. Even though I know they're uncomfortable and scared sometimes, you know, I want to help guide them through the experience and get them through it and give them a positive ending, you know. That way they realize, this isn't so bad, you know. There we go. Wow. Wow, see, so this is all, just to put it in a way that is easy to understand, this is all last season's underwear. This is all old underwear, you know? By removing it, now we're making room for new clean underwear to be grown by his skin, right? Because now it has room to grow new hair. And by doing this before the bath, it's where before we take a shower, so that our skin can be clean, right? So it cleans our skin. By keeping our old dirty underwear on when we take a shower, it wouldn't really do a lot for our skin because it's, you know, we have our dirty underwear on. But by removing his dirty underwear, now when I give him a bath, it's gonna give me much better results. There we go. Good boy, Percy. I'm so proud of you, buddy. Alrighty, he's always a little jumpy for his legs. Oh, there's some mats down here. There we go. See, so I'm holding it with my free hand, holding the mats at the base so that the skin doesn't get pulled too much. There we go. And then after I get him all combed out, I'm gonna go ahead and shave his pads, the pads of his feet, and his sanitary area, because any close shaving I want to do before the bath, just like when we shave our skin, it feels a little itchy, and we like to take a shower afterwards. When I used to get my hair cut short, and I would get the sides of my head, my sideburns, the sides of my neck, the back of my neck shaved, then I'd always go home and take a shower because it's itchy afterwards. Same idea. So after I get them all combed out, I'm going to do all this close shaving, and then I'm going to give him a bath. And then he's going to be, the bath, he's already going to look and smell clean. So the bath is not really for the hair. The bath is for the skin. The shampoo is really for the skin. So that's why we want to leave the shampoo on. We want to let it sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes, because that contact time is what's going to give you all the benefits. So you don't want to just lather your dog up in the bathtub with the shampoo and just rinse them off as soon as you get them lathered up. You want to wait and let the shampoo sit for a while, at least 5 to 10 minutes. That way, the shampoo actually has time to get into those pores and actually clean and condition the skin the way it was designed to, right? And also that contact time, oh wow, that's a good one. That contact time, see that? It's like a teardrop or something. But that contact time is what causes the shampoo, it gives the shampoo time to make those chemical bonds, right? To the old dirt and the old oil, the dirty oil and stuff like that. It gives the shampoo time to bind itself, to bond, cling to all of the dirt particles, the old oil, and all of that. And that way, when you rinse the shampoo off, that's when the cleaning actually happens. Because you're not, the scrubbing then with our hands, that's not really what cleans the dog. What cleans the dog is the shampoo having the time to make that bond with the dirt particles and all the cellular debris, the old oil. And then after about 5-10 minutes, once the shampoo has had time to really do its job, then when you rinse the shampoo off, along with the shampoo, you rinse off all of the dirt and everything that it's attached itself to. So it's a process. Grooming is a process. And by following the process, you get results that last for weeks, sometimes months at a time. There we go. Look at that. That's a nice one. But anyways, so you get the idea. Pretty much same thing I say in almost every video. I mean, because the information never changes, Facts are the facts. Alrighty. And it's simple to understand, not so easy to do. It does take time and effort. And patience on both the part of the dog and the groomer. And I think that every pet owner should consider themselves a dog groomer. Maybe not a hairstylist, maybe you don't do the haircut, but this is grooming. Brushing and combing your dog, trimming their nails, checking their ears, brushing their teeth. This is all grooming. And grooming is something that should be done on a regular basis because it's hygiene, right? Oh, look at that, where all those mats were. Wow, it feels so smooth and silky now. Anyways, grooming is hygiene, and hygiene should be done on a regular basis to have a healthy dog, right? And health is beauty. When you have a healthy dog, you have a beautiful dog. So that's why I think that all pet owners should consider themselves dog groomers. You may not be a dog hairstylist, but you are a dog groomer, because as the pet owner, grooming, I feel like nature has provided us a way to show our dogs how much we care about them in a way that they clearly understand through our body language. We're taking our time and spending effort to help them feel more comfortable and clean, and we're letting them know, hey, I care about you, I want to help you out. And I think that we're so fortunate to have a way like this, to let our dogs know, hey, I care about you. We care about you, buddy. We want you to feel better, right? Oh, good boy, Percy. But yeah, so I feel like, grooming, rather than look at it as a chore, look at it as a blessing. You know, we're blessed to have this activity called grooming to show our dogs how much we love them and how much we care about them and how much we appreciate them being in our lives. So, there we go. So I don't want to pull too much. I just want to go and cut the matted hairs out with that dematting rake. And then I can go through that same area that was pulling and tugging and catching and just comb all those mats out. There we go. So when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, right? Dr. Wayne Dyer. So when we change the way we look at grooming our dog and brushing and combing them, when we change the way we look at it, and we no longer look at it as a chore, as something that the dog hates or that you hate to do, you know, when we change the way we look at it and we look at it as a blessing, you know, as a way that Mother Nature has given us to show our dogs, to let them know we care about them, now grooming becomes a very beautiful activity, you know, an intimate activity, one that brings you and the dog closer. There we go. Oh, because in nature, right, when you're dealing with dogs or children, love is spelled T-I-M-E. I almost misspelled it. T-I-M-E, time. That's how dogs know that you love them, when you spend the time with them. There we go. Awesome, buddy. That's why after I get done with work here, I really look, oh wow, look at that one. See that? I really look forward to going home and walking my dogs and taking them to the dog park. You know, when I get done with work a little early sometimes, when I have early days, you know, that's when I brush. And, you know, I love spending that time with my dogs to let them know that I care about them and that I love them. There we go. Awesome. Oh, caught a little bit right there. Alrighty. Look at that. So, Claudia, you have a big heart too. You wouldn't be teaching us how to take care of our fur baby. Oh, thank you. Damn, I'm so late for the stream. Oh, Pinkie Pie, no, you didn't miss anything. Probably just some of the most profound things I've ever shared in my entire life. But yeah, no big deal. Yeah, man. No, I'm just kidding. Ah, man. If you notice, Pinkie Pie, I'm still using the same stupid, tired old jokes. I'm sorry. I wish I was more original. I wish I was more funny. But it's all good. I'm not a comedian. I'm a dog groomer. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be judged on the quality of my jokes, right? Judge me on the quality of my grooms. Shoot. Before I get upset, you know what I'm saying? Before you upset me. I don't want to be upset while I'm grooming this dog. You know what I'm saying, Pinkie Pie? I was kidding. It's probably like, what in the world, man? Chill out. Okay. Getting mad at me for using the same old tired jokes. Okay. Oh man. You're the most OG. Oh, thank you. Original groomer, right? Man, maybe I should start coming up with some original jokes. Okay. Yeah, here we go. We are almost all done now. From tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. All brushed out. He's always been jumpy for the legs. The legs actually surprisingly weren't that matted. It was mostly just the shoulders, the hind area, and around the sides here. Alright. But it also because you know, every hair, every follicle is on a different life cycle, is on a different growth cycle. So next time I might be dealing with a lot of mats in the legs, because this time there wasn't a lot of matting in the legs, more in the body. So next time I come, I might be dealing with a lot of mats from the legs, because again, it's all on different growth cycles. There we go. Let me turn you, buddy. There we go. Nice, see that? So now I'm able to get the comb all the way through and comb out any remaining mats that I may have missed. There we go. And then I can give him a nice long haircut and keep him long and fluffy. You know, that nice teddy bear cut where he still has about an inch of hair left, you know. So I'm gonna give him a haircut. I'm not just gonna leave him this long, but I'm gonna leave him long enough where he looks nice and fluffy and full and has a nice round teddy bear cut. There we go. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't take this time and comb all of this out. I would have had to shave him, and that would have been a shame because he has such a beautiful, soft, silky, fluffy coat. It really would have been a shame if I had to shave him all down to the skin. So, but pet owners, and this is for the pet owners, your groomer, a lot of times they don't have a choice. When you take your dog into the salon and you don't want them to shave your dog, sometimes they don't really have a choice because if they can't get this comb through, then they can't really get the clipper guards to go through, and it's going to catch, and they won't be able to, you know, give your dog a long haircut. And so they usually have no other choice but to shave your dog down, you know, because otherwise, if they wash a matted dog, you know, it's just gonna come out even more matted, and it's gonna take forever to dry. You know, it's almost impossible to dry a matted dog that's all wet, and then they shave them down, and you know, I'm not saying that it's good or bad. It's just that's the reality of the situation. They don't really have the time to do this. So this is what you want to do before you take your long-haired dog into the groomers so that they can save the coat. Or some grooming shops, like I said, they will charge you. And it's usually for every 15 minutes or every half hour, they'll charge you a certain amount. And as long as you're okay with that, then as long as you see the value in it, then you know that's another option for you. But some people, it's just not in their budget, or they just don't see the value in paying an extra, you know, $60 to $80 on top of the groom. So then this would be your other option, to go ahead and comb out all this dead hair and comb out all the mats before the groom, before you take them into the groomers. There we go. And so that's the tools that you're going to need. First, the slicker brush to break up that top coat, right? To break it all up. Then a mat splitter, and if you don't have a mat splitter, then you want to use a pair of sharp scissors, you know, and split up those mats. Then you comb it all through with the Greyhound comb, and you're done. You're good, right, buddy? So now I'm going to do the close shaving and give him a bath, dry him up, and do his haircut. Maybe I'll stream again when I'm doing his haircut. Pinkie Pie, I just had a first time puppy groom that was so challenging. I'm beat. Oh yeah, because it's an energy transfer. So sometimes when the dog is like really stressed out and feeling scared and nervous, it literally transfers when we're touching the dog and working with them. It transfers into us. And sometimes I'll realize, like, why am I feeling so anxious? And I'll have to breathe it out. It's like, because the dog's feeling anxious. You know, just like a massage therapist. This one guy that was doing my massage, he told me that sometimes he'll feel what his client's feeling when he's massaging them. He'll feel anxiety, he'll feel nervous. Sometimes he'll feel sad, and they'll be crying too. And he's saying because sometimes we store sadness in certain areas of our body, and when he releases that, it releases those old emotions, and they start crying, and he'll start feeling sadness too, because it's a transfer of energy. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, I mean, if you're doing that first time puppy groom and the puppy was really scared and nervous, that probably transferred to you as well, and you were feeling that. So as groomers, we have to constantly breathe it out. You know, let the energy transfer to us, and then we breathe it out, right? You ever see The Green Mile? You know, The Green Mile, that big Michael Duncan Clark, his character, right? He absorbs whatever illness or sickness that the person has, and then he lets all the flies come out, you know, he releases it. You know, kind of like that, you know, we're taking in what they're feeling, the negative feelings that they might have, we're drawing it into us and then breathing it out. I may have just lost a lot of subscribers. This guy is cuckoo, man. I know it's woo-woo stuff. I know, but it works. I mean, I remember one of my friend's mom. She's a massage therapist, and she said that whenever she massages someone who has MS, multiple sclerosis, she has to take the rest of the day off because she feels so worn out. Because it's an energy transfer. So, anyways, I'll see you guys. Oh, any more? Okay, no more comments. Awesome.